we've come across evidence that shows that even her own representatives knew that she was threatening and mean and tough and wanted to get her way. This is not something that we wanted out there. It's not something that Justin wanted out there. In fact, it hurts the movie. It doesn't help the movie.
Hollywood is at it again, where losing gracefully isn't an option, and doubling down is practically a competitive sport. At the center of today's fiasco is Blake Lively, who, instead of quietly weathering the storm, decided to go full throttle into damage control mode. Because why admit defeat when you can request a gag order and keep the drama alive? It all started with a steamy romance film that, let's be honest, no one was really asking for. Enter Justin Baldoni, co-star, director, and now the unfortunate centerpiece of a $400 million lawsuit. A leaked behind-the-scenes clip of their supposed intimate dance scene has not only set the internet ablaze, but also fueled Blake's legal team to fight back with more flair than the movie itself ever had. But here's the kicker. This isn't your standard Hollywood drama about artistic differences. No, this is a masterclass in public relations gymnastics, with Blake's camp spinning narratives faster than a tabloid headline generator. And if you think this couldn't get messier, oh, Hollywood never disappoints. Buckle up, because this is only the beginning.
And that what in fact happened was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it. And used threats and coercion and bullying to do it. And to the point where this guy was in the basement at his own movie's premiere.
The leaked footage that started this whole circus is nothing short of underwhelming. A short clip from what should have been a tender, romantic scene instead showcased Blake Lively's apparent discomfort and Justin Baldoni's alleged attempts to guide her into the mood. But let's not sugarcoat it. What the video really exposed was Blake's complete inability to stay in character. Instead of chemistry, viewers got awkward jokes, forced laughs, and the kind of tension that could be cut with a butter knife. Blake's legal team, however, saw this as the perfect moment to flip the narrative. Their response? File a gag order against Baldoni's lawyer. Yes, you heard that right. Because if you can't win the court of public opinion, you might as well silence the other side. The team argued that the footage was being used to taint the jury pool. But let's be real. Was there any pool left untarnished after this leak? And here's the wild part. While her team insists the clip shows Baldoni crossing professional boundaries, anyone with functioning eyes can see it's just two actors fumbling their way through an already awkward scene. But according to Blake's camp, Baldoni's inappropriate behavior included leaning in, flicking her lip with his thumb, and, wait for it, saying she smelled good. Scandalous, right? Because nothing screams Hollywood villain quite like personal hygiene and mild PDA.
My favorite part of what I've read of this suit so far is that Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. This is a book that's probably written at a second grade reading level.
Yeah.
But Blake's refusal to take the L doesn't stop at gag orders and finger pointing. Oh no, she's also managed to add a healthy dose of hypocrisy into the mix. In a recent interview, Blake admitted she couldn't relate to her character's experiences in the film, claiming she's never faced anything remotely similar. And yet, her legal team's statement paints a very different picture, alleging that Baldoni's behavior made her visibly uncomfortable. So which is it, Blake? Are you the unbothered actress who's never had to deal with anything like this? Or are you the victim bravely navigating workplace discomfort? Because from where we're sitting, it sounds like someone's trying to have it both ways. But hey, that's Hollywood, where consistency is optional and drama is mandatory. And speaking of contradictions, let's talk about Blake's sense of humor. According to her, she uses jokes to cope with awkward or difficult situations. Sure, that might sound relatable until you realize her version of jokes includes mocking her co-star's nose and suggesting he needs a break to get a nose job.
I feel so nosy.
I know.
Noses.
And my nose is so big.
Yes. I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that. And then,
Cut.
Just kidding.
Of course, she followed it up with the classic Hollywood disclaimer, just kidding, because nothing screams authenticity like making someone the butt of a joke and then backpedaling when it lands poorly. But here's the thing. Blake's humor wasn't just bad, it was disruptive. In the leaked footage, she's seen constantly breaking character, laughing nervously, and redirecting the scene to avoid intimacy. Meanwhile, Baldoni, bless his heart, tried to salvage the moment, only to end up being labeled as the bad guy. It's almost as if she's rewriting the rulebook for on-set professionalism in real time. And if you thought the legal drama ended with the gag order, think again. Blake's team isn't just playing defense, they're going on the offensive, framing Baldoni as everything short of Hollywood's next supervillain. Their statement accuses him of being out of character during the scene, as though staying in character is easy when your co-star keeps cracking awkward jokes and treating a romantic moment like open mic night at a comedy club. But here's the real kicker. The gag order isn't just about silencing Baldoni's lawyer, it's about controlling the narrative. Blake's team knows that the more the public sees of this footage, the harder it'll be to keep spinning her as the victim. After all, in the court of public opinion, perception is everything, and this is one Hollywood production they can't fully script. And then there's the broader hypocrisy of it all. Blake's camp is now calling Baldoni's behavior inappropriate and even drawing comparisons to workplace harassment, yet she's on record saying she felt fortunate to have never experienced anything like her character's struggles. So, which is it? Is she a fearless actress who's simply misunderstood, or a victim of a supposedly toxic work environment? Because if Hollywood loves one thing, it's playing both sides of the coin, depending on what sells better. Let's not forget the cherry on top. The leaked footage shows Blake leaning away and suggesting that the characters just talk instead of showing intimacy. A bold move, considering she signed on for a role in a romance movie. But hey, why bother sticking to the script when you can just rewrite it on the spot? The irony of this whole situation is that her reluctance to act the scene as written is the very thing that makes Baldoni's attempts seem awkward in the first place. Yet somehow, he's the one taking all the heat. Classic Hollywood, where blame is just another prop in the drama.
I'm a man, and this is a story that is told through the lens of a woman. And especially when it relates to intimacy scenes and to scenes where there is a mix of intimacy and violence, I wanted to make sure that those scenes had a female gaze. As much as I can try to see the world as a woman, I never will be able to.
But wait, it gets better, or worse, depending on your tolerance for Hollywood absurdity. The fallout from this fiasco has extended beyond Blake and Baldoni, dragging in intimacy coordinators, legal teams, and anyone remotely involved in the production. Intimacy coordinators, the unsung heroes of modern filmmaking, have reportedly been avoiding this project like it's cursed. 4 coordinators allegedly backed out or ghosted the production entirely, which raises the question, what is going on behind the scenes that's scaring people off faster than a B-movie horror flick? And let's not forget the growing whispers in Hollywood that this lawsuit could set a dangerous precedent. If directors can be sued for doing exactly what's in the script, how long before filmmakers start sticking to car chases and explosions just to avoid lawsuits? The whole industry could turn into one long action sequence just to sidestep the minefield of inappropriate behavior accusations. But perhaps the real takeaway here is the sheer hypocrisy that defines Hollywood. Blake's legal team has painted her as a wronged woman, bravely standing up to her overstepping director, while simultaneously releasing statements that contradict her own words in interviews. Baldoni, on the other hand, has been vilified for trying to salvage a scene with an actress who seemingly refused to cooperate. It's a lose-lose situation, wrapped in the kind of drama only Hollywood could script. So, what have we learned? Well, if you're in Hollywood, the only rule that matters is this: never let the truth get in the way of a good scandal. Blake Lively might be doubling down, but the internet has already made up its mind. And let's face it, no gag order can stop the world from pointing out the obvious contradictions in her story.
And that what in fact happened was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it. And used threats and coercion and bullying to do it. And to the point where this guy was in the basement at his own movie's premiere.
In the end, Blake Lively's handling of this entire situation feels like a masterclass in Hollywood damage control. Deny, deflect, and double down. From gag orders to contradictory statements, her team has pulled every move in the PR playbook to keep this mess from spiraling further out of control. But here's the thing about Hollywood scandals. The harder you try to clean them up, the bigger the mess tends to get. As for Justin Baldoni, he's left in a peculiar position. Trying to direct a movie with an actress who clearly decided to rewrite the rules mid-scene must have been frustrating enough, but now he's the scapegoat for everything that went wrong. It's a perfect example of how quickly Hollywood turns on its own when the narrative gets messy. The poor guy probably just wanted to make a romantic film. Now he's tangled in a lawsuit that's more dramatic than anything on screen. So what's next? Well, if Hollywood's history is anything to go by, this drama will simmer down eventually, only to be replaced by another equally ridiculous scandal. Blake will likely bounce back with another role, Baldoni will keep directing, and the rest of us will be left wondering how an industry so obsessed with storytelling can never seem to get its own story straight. But until then, we'll be here watching the chaos unfold one overblown headline at a time. And if this saga has taught us anything, it's that Hollywood is the gift that keeps on giving, whether we want it to or not. And now we want to hear from you. What do you think of this whole Blake Lively Justin Baldoni saga? Is Hollywood being its usual hypocritical self, or is there something deeper going on? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more deep dives into the absurd world of Hollywood scandals. Alright, show's over. Hungry for more twists? You know where to find us. Keep that popcorn hot, we'll handle the drama. Want to catch the next showdown in real time? Hit subscribe and buckle up.